On today's episode of Let's Talk FGO, Advent Calendars, Interlude Campaigns, still no sign of that Murasaki banner, but there is a Muramasa banner in Japan. Hello, I am one of your hosts, you better watch out, Omega. With me as always, you better not cry, Lucky.
That's pretty good, I like that. But with that, I hope everyone is enjoying Fate Grand Order, aka Big Dragon Oni and Nason Energy. And while we here at Studio Omega like to bring you the latest and after-related news and memes, we will be talking about current and future events, about the JP and Ian version of the game, so anyone not want to spoil it should go play Nioh and Nioh 2. They are really good.
Yes, sorry if I started the show a little forceful. We were in the FAF time. We were shooting a mini What's Up, except we weren't shooting it, so gotta get this ball rolling. I got shit to do. I got like 4 video games to play. If you want to know about video games we're playing and that stuff we're talking about, watch What's Up tomorrow. This video will not be late. It's not going to be 3 hours long. I know this. But before we get into how long this episode will be, I would like to remind you this episode is brought to you by our lovely patrons, like Adam DeHarp, Architect 10, Black Stogie, Carlos Dragon, Ferris, Jeremy Vasquez, Justin Fay, Jonathan Sandoval, Legendary Boss Hunter, Regent Raptor, Rise of Kenji, Rogue Robin, Sharvor, Sean Pryor, some guy named Bob, Sergeant 23, and Varian the Crow. If you like what we do want to see us do more, consider spending on Patreon, get access to episodes early and lots of other goodies, and it really helps us out. It's a new month, it's a new time to support.
Yeah.
Also, sorry if I got slightly distracted there. My computer picked that exact time to give me a pop-up. Thanks, Dell, asking me how much value that I should get my computer appraised for trade-in value. I think that trade-in value will be how much rare earth metals are inside it that you can recycle.
Honestly, I wonder if there's some people who do that, who just go like dumpster diving for all electronics to recycle them.
I mean, it's probably pretty valuable. There is good stuff in computers. It's important. I mean, the semiconductors are of limited use a couple years after they come out, but, you know, silicon. And you do need, like, metal inserts and stuff. It's like the precious metals in your phone. But yes, it's the beautiful Let's Talk FGO.
It's so beautiful.
We have many things to talk to you about today. Not for any particular length in any of them, but stuff to talk about. So let us continue with our regular segments and check in with everybody's favorite Kohai, Mash.
Omega, I might be dumb, but did you do the Patreon read?
Yeah, I did that just now.
Okay, I'm dumb.
You were probably fighting a monkey with a scythe.
Probably.
Anyway, I found my mash button. I will press it.
Senpai! 起きてください.
Because it is time for Wake the Fuck Up Senpai Pro Tips. I have a simple one for you this week / this month. December's items in NA are Giant Rings, Fantasy Scales, and Poison Needles. I will take those scales. People need them. Also, it's good because those are Lost Belt 6 items, so unlike the Lost Belt 5.5 items, you cannot technically farm them yet.
Oof.
But yeah, we're here. We're doing it. It's fun. I don't really have any other pro tips. We're just doing stuff.
Living our best life.
I will alert everybody to try and make sure to remember to log in every day, but that comes later. But we could probably talk about something super fun in general that people care about, which is Records of our achievement topic, because we did some rolling.
Yeah.
This was pretty funny. So, if you're wondering why there's no AP this week, Dallas is busy with finals, so we did not do that this week. Instead, we played Barotrauma for the first time for like 6 hours. And so that's what we were in the middle. That's what we were all in the middle of doing when Ibuki's banner came out. So several of us did our rolls right in the Discord VC, and also that's part of why that wanted was late. Also because I didn't think the banner would actually be that early, not technically Sunday night. Anyway, it came out. You should go watch the one. But for me, Ibuki was acquired in only like 4 or 5 rolls. I think it was 4. I was down several days ago, about 120 Saint Quartz. Anyway, Spell Protected, working on those 10s. But, man, my pre-Ibuki rolls sucked. All the rolls ahead of the roll where I actually got her were just 4-star CE after 4-star CE. The only thing I think I got notable at all was I did get a new copy. I did get a copy of the new 5-star CE.
Actually, now I think about it, I don't think I got it. For me, just like Omega, when the banner dropped, I was surprised. I was actually a little confused. Most notably, I forgot to update the game, so when I was looking at it, I didn't actually see the banner, so I was accusing people, no, the banner ain't there, and they're like, update your game, genius. I was like, oh. But, I think I had like 90 quartz. I had an amount of quartz, and I can't remember exactly off the top of my head, because, like a fool, I did not write this down immediately, but I did get, Ibuki Doji on my second or third, 10 spin. I was very excited. But, lucky being lucky, I've been waiting for Ibuki Doji for a long time, and I was like, no, nay, I need NP2 Ibuki. And so I decided to buy a $90 pack and shoot for NP2. First 10 spin off that pack, I got my NP2, and I was like, nope, I'm done, full stop. Let's go home. Good game, everybody. Butt pats all around.
They had us in the first half, and then they had us in the first half. Let's go home. Bye.
Bye. So yeah, NP2 Ibuki, I actually have now a nice little cushion of quartz for maybe Muramasa. Man, I still don't know. I like Shiro, but
I mean, mechanically,
I'm still...
he's a little redundant with Ibuki. They fill similar roles, just one is arts and one is Buster. So maybe the Muramasa plays more to your gameplay strengths.
Yeah, but
I'm gonna roll because swords.
Swords. What was the name of what was it? Unlimited Alloy Works?
Yeah, that's the name of the theme anyway.
That shit's good.
Yeah, but you have to also remember the other funny thing is Lucky's gonna be all about Buster in about 6 months.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say that Ibuki can Buster loop for sure, but I bet she can. She's got a freaking 50% battery.
Listen, people are about the arts meta, the quick meta, the Buster meta. Lucky has his own meta. He calls it the Tamamo meta.
Yeah. What servants work best with what Tamamo?
That's my entire meta right there.
It's ethos. All right, but yeah, it was a fun time.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, do go check out that Wanted. I do actually try to explain what an Ibuki is, because it's another one of those fun things where Type Moon really made a mountain out of a molehill. 2 mountains, if you'd like. Because in actual folklore, it's not that complex. Though I did find out that the Library of Congress is in possession of a picture scroll called Ibuki Doji. It's about the boy from Mount Ibuki. That's cool. I linked that in the description of the video.
Actually, that might be a reference to Shuten.
Well, it is, because Ibuki is just Shuten.
Yeah.
That's.
Well, no, I think that's because I'm sorry. I think that's one of Shuten's origins. Just was a kid that grew up on Ibuki Mountain.
That's specifically from the province where Mount Ibuki is. Yeah. And yes, that's the crux of the Wanted right there. It's very simple. That's not to say that they are the same character, because that's not how FGO treats them. But that's the same point. And also, yes, if you're curious, the fact that both of them are gender flipped is very funny, because the most common translation of the names is Shuten Doji is sake drinking boy, and Ibuki Doji is just literally boy from Mount Ibuki. I think it is technically a gender neutral child, but it's still usually translated as boy. Read it, boy.
Regina.
Alrighty. But there you go. Check out the one. Check out the fun time. Let's move on to Did You Finish Your Master Missions? Pretty straightforward this week. Need to perform 30 FP summons, defeat 15 dragon trait enemies, defeat 20 enemies, not servants or bosses, defeat 40 enemies, not servants or bosses, and then get 15 and then 30 EXP cards from battles. Actually, that's incorrect, though. Not most Oni were always male. Lady Onis are actually well described in the folklore. A lot of the most famous Onis were dudes, but that's probably because they were big, scary, eating monsters. But you gotta remember, Ibaraki has always been considered female often.
Yes.
What exactly her relationship with Shuten Doji is not that, but it's complexes. Anyway, for your master missions, it's pretty straightforward. You can probably accomplish most of these either doing the half AP interlude campaign for lots of random enemies, or doing the half AP dailies, which I think are not out there anymore, but were. So you could have done... actually, no, I think I was doing some... Yeah, no, quartz and EXPs are still half AP for now. I was doing some quartz farming earlier because skills are expensive. But yeah, so do your half APs. You should get through most of that. The big thing is obviously the dragon enemies. That's very easily solved by going to Orleans. I don't know which one is the cheapest that has all the wyverns, but it's probably one of the woods. It's not Jura Forest, is it? That's where all the Beastie Boys are. What
Ibaraki as a dude?
I believe there are a couple, but usually the lady bits are played up. Usually have a complex relationship with Shuten. There's also the fact that in Tsuna's legends, which are the popular ones, she disguises herself as a lady twice.
Oh.
So it's definitely more popular. La Sharik, that's where dragons are from. Yeah, so do that 3 times and you'll get all your dragons. Dwagons. Now there you go, there's master missions. It's good. Get your sync cards up. But alrighty, let's pow down and jump through our Skelegrams. Because there are a few. Again, they're pretty direct, but we got them.
Yeah.
So, first of all, as we discussed earlier, Heian Kyo Banner 2 did actually drop. It started on the 27th, goes until the 11th. It is a read-up of Ibuki, Medea Lily, Babbage, and Paracelsus. That does not change, so it is not affected by pity at all. By the pity change, I should say. So just do it. It's there. Simple. New CEs are also on read-up. And now, as Heian-kyo is plenty out of the way, we're on to our next bit. It's Interlude Campaign, Part 15. This was expected, though they started it pretty fast. Started the 1st of December, goes until the 8th. Coincides with that Game Awards. That's funny. God, can you imagine? They won't, because I feel like we're not in the right circles for that, but wouldn't it be fucking rad if FGO showed up at the Game Awards, like Nissan was on stage to be like, hey, here's our next event trailer?
No.
That'd be cool. Maybe someday. I don't think it'll happen. It's funny, though, like I said. Anyway, what's in Interlude Campaign Part 15 is half AP interludes during this duration, double suck chance for all servants who got interludes. There are new Saint Quartz interludes for the Dioscuri, for Seishonagon, for Paris, for Romulus Quirinus, and for Black Bart. Roberts. There are NP interludes for Old Man Lee and Astrea. And also, now we immediately get to see the pity go into effect. We have a split banner. There are 2 summon banners associated with this. They are split between Dioscuri and Old Man Lee, with Astrea on both. And so those have separate PD tracking and everything. There you go. We're just doing it. We already saw this with Thanksgiving, but, this is just straight up there. They're doing the thing. Yeah, we got a lot of banners. Kids get used to that. That's how pity works, is you get a lot of fucking banners. I kind of hope someday they can maybe fix the code so that we can do rotation without needing so many banners, but yeah, it'd be how it be. And in general, new interlude time means new fun times. I haven't clocked a lot of the new interludes. I've mostly been cleaning up old ones with the half AP. I did do SIS because it was 1 pip. It's pretty funny. I have not yet done my Dioscuri or Romulus Quirinus ones because despite the fact that I've had them for like 7 months, I have not really had a chance to use them too much. Because it's not like I rolled them and leveled them, and had heavy-duty story content to do. So they're not actually at Bond 5 yet, so I can't do their interludes yet. But we'll get there. I do need to make sure to do that Astrea one, though, because that's for her NP, which is great, because that's an arts NP. But for the one I did do with Sei, it is suitably slightly goofy, as you might expect. There's also a lot of interesting commentary about reading historical Japanese works in it. It starts with Murasaki narrating about Seishonagon and Nagiko, and then you show up to the library and are like, actually, I want to read the Pillow Book, and she's like, well, here, I've got a lot of different translations, but try this one. It's a modern translation. It keeps the language mostly the same, but does offer clarifying footnotes. And I'm like, God, this really is just like picking what version of a text for like your college course. Do you want to go with this translation or that translation? Footnotes? No footnotes? Reminds me of when I took a short-term seminar course on Dante's Inferno. But yeah, so and then it very rapidly just gets goofy. It involves chocolate and Mephistopheles. There you go. That's all you need to know. But I'll see what other stuff they have. I've seen a couple screen grabs from the Dioscuri one, and it seems like they've got some fun in there. But with no other further. Oh yeah, no, it's an NP. It's an NP increase. Let me actually check what it does because I don't remember.
Hey,
Gesundheit.
Thank you.
And if you want an Australia, hey, on read up. Let's see. Oh, fuck. This is a really good upgrade. Not only does she get damage increase, it does Pierce Invul for 1 turn.
That Pierce Invul is good.
Yeah, that's pretty rad. The bonus damage versus evil stays the same, but her single target damage mod goes up a lot, and the one turn of Pierce is pretty good. Yeah, that's gonna clap pretty hard. I really wanted to turn that into a segue, but I could not. Anyway, our next step is Advent Calendar. We're getting it again. This is what the second or third year they've done this? I think it's like the 3rd.
I'm going to say 3rd.
Yeah. They've been doing this pretty regularly, but here it is. So, it started the 30th, it's going until the 25th, Christmas Day. Basically, log in every day until Christmas to get a daily special surprise. They do have a couple of days called out as having Saint Quartz. I believe the 8th is one of them, for instance. Like, if you actually go to their special site, I can pull it up. Excuse me, because they do have a special graphic for this. Our people making all our graphicals are working hard this year. Yeah, okay, so it looks like the 8th, the 17th, and the 24th all have little Saint Quartz icons on them. And the 25th is, very big at the bottom with lots of extra presents, so we'll see. But they've got handfuls of things. We've already gotten a summon ticket and 500 friend points. So that's kind of the spectrum in for this usually. It's not a whole lot, but it's usually like, a little extra friend points, maybe some extra QP. There'll be a couple of summon tickets in here. There'll be a couple of days that are like 1 or 2 Saint Quartz. I think they usually stick some, randomized mats in here. Maybe some EXPs, It's just a fun time, and it gives you an incentive to make sure you're logging on every day. So, make sure to double check. Everybody, you've logged into FGO today, right? See, that's a message I can say, because at no point when somebody listens to this is that a bad message. Maybe in like 10 years when the FGO servers are finally shut down, but, it's got a long tail of being relevant. But, got the advent calendar again. No word exactly on when we're going to get the actual Christmas event. I would suspect not until later, but probably before Christmas Day, so we'll see how it all shakes out. I'm fairly certain we will get the 1,000,000 downloads campaign with the extra Saint Quartz and the Murasaki banner and stuff somewhere in this month. Probably. If only because I don't know what else they've got to do. So, we'll see what's up. And that's it for the triple threat of NA news, keeping you occupied kind of in our cooldown period after a big story release. It's kind of how this show is going, honestly, because we had a big long one that you all really enjoyed, and now we're going to have a shorter one. Though I still have more surprises for you later. But in JP, we keep on trucking. Road to 7, Lost Belt 6. Started the 1st, goes until the 15th. There was the usual blitz of movies and music and etc. They've got some streams and stuff still planned. They've got some streams and stuff they did, premiere videos and whatnot. Watch out for big boy spoilers. There's like a special commemorative graphic of Oberon you see when you open up the game now. Shit like that. So there's a lot of stuff going on. Again, still no real news if there's going to be a brand new Christmas event this year. I suspect there will not be a rerun. I don't know. We might get a Christmas lotto. They already did a lotto with Night Cup. And given that this does, end on the 15th, that's about halfway through the month, we could be seeing, Lost Belt 7 pretty soon. We'll see. They're really prepping you for it.
No, I think Lost Belt 7's gonna be at the end of the month, and they're about to kick off with their Christmas event. Because, remember what they said? They said there would be no new banners until the next year.
Yeah,
they want to put those banners in when the event is still relevant. So I'm definitely betting that they're gonna put it towards the end of the year, and then
maybe
combine that with their New Year's banner.
Last-ish week of December.
Yeah,
so that you've got a number of days to be spoiler-free and caught up, and then the banners will drop.
Yeah.
This is going to be in general, this is going to be a very interesting release. I would warn everybody, take nothing seriously until banners are announced. Because, once again, even if a servant as data mined is having playable stats, that doesn't mean they'll be summonable right away. To take a look at Kagekiyo. We're still waiting a couple months on that one. A month and a bit, actually, because it should be early January by our scale. But yeah, so there's some wiggle room. But yeah, it'll be really interesting to see how that release plays out. Never say that you're too old to try new things, at least. But yeah, so we're in our last road campaign. At least I assume so. I'm gonna guess they're probably not gonna do a 6.5 campaign. Well, there will not be a summon banner until New Year's, unless it's only old servants. Because they said that. They were very explicit. There will be no new SSRs for the rest of this year. In 2022, you will not get a new unit. Actually, I think they may have said new units, no new servants on banners, period. So I think that even includes SRs. There's no clarification whether that means that there will be no, if they do a Christmas event, there will be no new welfare with it. We don't know. So we'll see. There wasn't a welfare with the Night Cup. That was a lotto event, so I don't know. Maybe they'll finally make Christmas not a lotto event. That could be interesting to see. Maybe they'll just do a Christmas recap like they did a Halloween recap. There won't be a new Christmas, but you'll get to do other Christmases.
I mean, if they decide not to do Christmas and instead do a Christmas recap and maybe fix some old Christmas servants, that'd be fun. That'd be fine.
If they gave you a way to get maybe our first couple of Santas back, because those are all kind of related.
Santa Altar, Santa Altar,
yeah.
They still need reworks.
Yeah, they're pretty old, and they're not even available. Just get in there. They did not do another 0.5 for Heianko, but that's also because it's been made very explicitly clear Heianko is not necessary for story progression. They reworked it so you don't need to clear it to get to Lost Belt 6. 6.5 is supposed to be a lot more story integrated, but also it came out this year, so I can't imagine that they would... Well, okay, I can't say they can't imagine, because the Morgan has a fuck ton of banners, but
Yeah,
I don't know that they would reset, especially because Charlemagne already got a reset banner during Night Cup. So that there's no need to recap the other 0.5 because it fucking just happened. You know? Whereas even Lost Belt 6 is a year and a half old in JP by now. So, yeah. But anyway, they're recapping it. So, interludes are available for all Lost Belt 6 related servants. I need to grab that list so I can let people know. Also, for this time, all the special, stuff you get is for those servants in that group. They get double FP. They get, what is it? Double FP, double suck chance. Not, this doesn't stack, by the way. It's not ×4. It's just, because they're doing a double suck right now for, I think it's either for the Part 1 clearance or something else. But that just means that the double suck will be extended for them. Half AP interludes and rank ups for them, and increased bond during Lost Belt 6 quests. And the group seems to be, we've got, Tristan, Percival, Red Hair, Cascu, Gareth. There's a couple of others in that list as well, the Fairy Knights, etc. But those are the people with interludes that we get in there, which are unlocked even if you don't have the servant. We've also got some old command codes coming permanently to the RP shop, which is interesting. There are recollection quests for tickets and teapots. I don't think I've seen anywhere what they actually are. I don't know if they're spoilers, but they're out there. But yeah, recollection quests are live. There are extra master missions related to Lost Belt 6 for more teapots and some gold foes and stuff. And they have launched some banners, some very appealing banners for the end of the year. Obviously, with the Night Cup, they're not bothering with another Morgan banner right away. They already got that out of the way. So your banners are actually going to be Muramasa and Red Hair, Melusine and Percival, and Oberon and Castor Ku. And the story CE is on Raid Up all the time on all of those. So yeah, they're really whatchamacallit.
Oh, excuse me.
They're going. They're making those last not new banners of the year very juicy. I think is how I want to phrase it. They have straight up admitted that they are not dropping a shiny new SSR after Britomart, but they're gonna still get they're gonna make their money. They're gonna get you some good banners with some standalone read ups. Though of course the Melusine Percival one continues to be fucking hilarious because they're both Lancers. FGO, what is it with you and the double Lancer read ups? Why do you do this? I can't believe you've done this. But also, it's that time of year again. It's time for a new DaVinci Shop CE. This one is called Dream Closet. It has Miss Crane and Hobbitrot hanging out. And this is an interesting triplicate. It gives you FP up, Bond up, and Mystic Code up. So I think it's you get plus 25 friend points when you use it, and you get like 5% on Bond and Mystic Code EXP if MLB'd. Pretty interesting.
A little bit of everything.
Yeah. We've gone from solo. I think it's 2.5 base because I don't know how it could be much lower. Is it 1% base? For some ungodly reason, the Fate Grand Order Wiki is like really slow and is not actually updated for this stuff yet. So I'll go straight to the new. Actually, no, I can check news test. That's right, it's been posted here. Oh, it is 2.5. Wow, it is 0.5% before then. Ugh. All right, so literally only buy that if you have 5,000 mana prisms, because a 0.5% increase is just bad, very bad. But it is still a little bit of everything, and I feel like the assumption with a lot of these new ones that come out, right, are that you've already probably got a couple of these, so you're never just running it straight, because a decent number of the old CEs can be accessed through the Rare Prism Shop, so, there's a lot of fun stuff out there to check out. CE art's good. You can see it also. I can only copy the... Yeah, no, that turns into a save as. Discord got a little weird with, Twitter embedded images. Anyway. So, let's see. Yeah, I think that was all. Yeah, it's everything I got in the news list. So, NA, like I said, kind of in a cooldown period. We're in a little bit of a, catch-up space, give you some extra time, catch up on some new interludes and stuff, get your grinding out the way before we get into our own new Christmas. And JP is kind of chilling. Oh, yeah, Morgan did come to Arcade. Arcade is really just fucking weird, isn't it? Fucking Morgan. Aren't you guys done with your main story? Well, I guess you still gotta make your money somehow. They also continue to introduce alternate colors. There's some alternate colors on Jack that are really funny. She has a seal alt color. That's probably too complex to program into base FGO, but I do think fighting game colors would be funny. But yes, I don't think anybody can even own Array Arcade Morgan being in arcade because she's had like 5 banners.
No, true, very true, very popular.
I mean, I'm sure that's why they put her in arcade. It's just funny.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think that solves up our news. Did manage to go for about 30 minutes.
Sick. Oh. So, with that, let us now pivot over to this week's Let's Talk FGO Mailbag, the segment where we read what you have to say and comment accordingly. Let me hit a refresh here, just to make sure. No, unfortunately, we only got 6 this week.
I guess everybody's still in their post-Thanksgiving food coma, or their wallets are still dead from Black Friday.
Something like that. So this will be fairly quick, but let's go. The first one comes from Tyra King with MP5 Ibuki Achieve. They say, hey guys, so to give my question some context, I rolled an extra copies of Aresh after Ibuki to get some more servants like at 120 and unlock all our pen skills.
I assume you meant servant coins there.
Sorry, I'm just thinking about this person who just has enough money to go for MP5 Ibuki and then still have enough just to keep going for Aresh. I'm just all like, disposable income is amazing. Let's see. Oh, unlock all of her pen skills. So my question is it worth it to roll extra copies to unlock all the pen skills and 120? For a while, I did get the Aresh copies within budget. I don't know if I want to again. If worst case scenario, I hit petty every time. Anyway, that's it for me. Sorry for the long question. Sending good vibes. Wah 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 wah. Your way, and hope you have a good evening. I mean, I'm just gonna mention a Studio Mega classic here. Follow the dick inside your heart.
Yeah.
Like, unfortunately, like, a pen skills are neat, and if you want to have, the most sublime servant, you want to go for everything, but it's always up to how comfortable you are with reaching that far. I know it might seem like a bit of a cop-out, but unfortunately, I'm not the one kind of person who just say, like, yes, because this is something that is going to cost money, that only has a chance and whatnot, and could go horribly wrong. So if you are comfortable with that decision and stuff, yes, fucking go for it. But if you do not feel comfortable about it, sit down, take a moment, and think about it if that's what you truly want.
I mean, in general, I feel like the append skills and the 120 is just an extension of previous conversations we've had about grailing servants.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to go all the way, that's a very you decision. That's personal. Talking about grailing for love and stuff. If you want to go to 120, that is a lot of QP and a lot of fucking EXPs. You know what you're doing. If you want to do that and go for all append skills, all 3 of them level 10, you're doing that for love of that unit. You know that you are invested in them and you want to give them all the stuff and make them the bestest they can be. Because I'm going to be real with you, mechanically, I don't actually think 1010ing your append skills actually matters that much. One of them is just, you get like, was it 20% extra on your extra attack, or is it 50%? Let me actually check.
It's a number.
Actually, chat will tell me the number. But it's not, I don't think it's that crazy. It's funny. It is 50%? Okay. It's cool, right? But, like, think about it. How often do you actually, servant chain together and get that extra attack, right? Are you doing that a lot on that servant? If you're using them a lot, probably a decent amount, but it's definitely one of those things that's like, it's not perfect. So you have to decide for yourself about going that extra level. It's a little bit of a flex, I would say there probably is some ego involved in it, but obviously it's also like, you're doing it because you like that unit so much. Like, I've flexed some append skills. I haven't gotten to grailing past 100 yet, just because the EXP value is nuts. But the Mighty Chain mechanic isn't in yet. It's true. It's a fun thing for that, but that's still an extra quality you got to keep track of yourself. I have actually leveled some append skills for some of my servants. My level 100 Mordred and my Musashi Berserker, who is still just level 90 and doing just fine. I gave them both their 20% starting battery, just because it makes their jobs easier. And I could see myself doing that in future with some more units. And occasionally the class advantage skill is worth it. Other times it's really not, There's over 300 servants in the game, so it's pretty obvious that Delightworks and Lissangle couldn't give everybody a cool, unique class advantage append skill. So going all the way to the double 10-10-10 level 120 if you are comfortable doing that, because even if you're not talking about investment of money, you're talking about a lot of investment of time, right?
Right.
Because all that shit requires QP, it requires mats, and it requires a fuck ton of EXPs. It also requires grails, which you can't replace yet. Grail casting isn't in. So if you are committed to the time restraints, I think you should feel okay being committed to the monetary restraints. But, that's on you. Yeah, same with Bond 15 as well, if you want to go, all the way. At least Bond 15, you get hella rewarded for that, right? It takes a lot of time, and you get a shitload of Saint Quartz out of it. But there's a lot of stuff going on there you need to keep in mind. So if you are down to climb with that commitment, if I'm telling you all those things, and you're like, yeah, so do it. You're already committed. If not, again, like I said, it's mostly a flex. It's for your self-contentment and for you to show off to your friends on your friends list, right? It's not required. If anybody is telling you you have to put them to 120, that person is wrong. Don't listen to them. They're being toxic, man. Nobody has to go to 120. It's a lot of fucking work. Yeah, that's what I think about that.
Well, that's it for that then. Let us move on. So this next one comes from Buried in Boxes. Oof. Dear Lucky Omega, no question this week, just sending you the good vibes. Wah, 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 wah. And wishing you well. Thanks. And keep up the great work. Good work, excuse me. P.S. Moving house is truly all the world's evil. Yes, this is correct.
Yep.
I hate moving.
It sucks. I still have shit in boxes. Admittedly, most of that shit is my previous last 2 PC towers, so it's not like that's important, but just the box is still there. Also, I wonder what we'll have to do. Hopefully next week we can make it to keeping up the great work.
So, let's see here. This next one comes from Moon is approaching the final battle, otherwise known as final exams. Ganbare. Question. Hello there, Loki Omega. Hope you're doing well. Do you prefer to go to the beach to relax by the shore or to swim? Unfortunately, neither. Lucky is not a beach guy. I mean, if I had to go, if, my friends are all like, hey, let's go to the beach, and I can't convince them to do something else, I'm much more a sit on the shore kind of guy.
Well, I'm gonna say, I know that it's not, cold in the Pacific Northwest where you live, but I also don't think of it as beach weather either.
Nah. I mean, during the summer, we do get, like I said, during the summer, it's fine. Like I said, the ocean's still pretty cold, but, A, that's a lot of fucking ocean. B, it's salt water, which, fucking sucks.
True.
C, if you go out too far, danger. No, the ocean's not for me. I enjoy it, I'm much more of a mountain person. I like, mountain streams, mountain lakes, and all that kind of stuff. You take me there, I'll go swimming all day, every day. But nah, I don't like the ocean.
So, this may shock people, but coming and living in Florida, I'm also not much of an ocean guy. If I were to go to the beach, I would say, at least here, much more of a swim. But that's because the sun melts me. I'm very white, y'all. I will become invisible. I will become translucent and disappear in the harsh rays of the sunlight. So I much prefer to swim. I've always liked swimming. You know where I like to swim best? Pools. But that's because this is Florida, and I would not be caught dead going into a lake or river in this state because there might be a gator in the water. And listen, I've lived this long by learning not to fuck with alligators and crocodiles. Okay, but yeah, if I were to go to a beach, I would definitely be doing it to swim. But it's just we have a pool in this house, so I would just go in the pool. We're getting a pool heater installed. It's got a screen over it. It's great. No, I'm not going to hug the gator. That's not good. I'm constantly living the Florida man experience. I'm not there to clown. I've covered all the basics. I know about poisonous snakes, no gators, don't want to fuck with that. Don't mess with spiders, don't mess with scorpions. A bark scorpion's not going to kill you, but it's still going to suck. We have fucking millipedes and centipedes around here. Don't really get much call for bull sharks, but I don't live that close to the coast, so. Or major coastal river estuaries. Watch out for the sawgrass. Gotta watch out. Even the grass is trying to kill you. Shark. I just think of that one meme, Pamela. I'm a shark. Suck my dick. I'm a shark. Great.
That's truly a classic.
Vintage.
Vintage memes. No, listen. I think the gators are cute and all, but at the same time, I'm not gonna go up to one and pet it.
Listen, I have respect for a creature that has remained unchanged by the pressures of evolution since the dinosaurs walked the earth. Like, listen, that creature knows what it's about, and we know not to fuck with it. It's deadly at all ends. You think you just gotta worry about the front end? No. Tails are huge.
That tail is fat.
Uses it as a weapon. Its legs, speed legs. Doesn't have a lot of turning radius though.
I do love those images of people who are just so used to gators that they don't fucking care, like gators on golf course, and golfers just be like, "Hey, you get out of here," and the gator's like, "Okay, fine."
I mean that is kind of those that's the vibes of like people and animals that are used to seeing each other, right?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, we're just of course the gator lives in the golf course. The golf course is in the middle of its habitat, and well, you just want to golf, and so long as the gator's not like hungry, it's like, yeah, dude, you're blocking my shot. The gator doesn't want to be fucked with. He's probably just trying to chill in the sun.
Well, we did both start off as penal colonies.
Somebody lost a GoPro. Sorry. Future viewers won't get that. There's a lot of gator gifs in our Patreon chat right now, and the latest one is just a relatively small gator just biting the end of a camera and just sticking there. And I'm pretty sure that GoPro is fucked. Hopefully that was not handheld. It's a good way to lose your hand, like that guy at the start of Maneater. Forgot the shark game name for a second. Where's my gator?
Go with Captain Hook.
Yeah, good old Captain Hook. Never heard any crocodiles or gators ticking, but wouldn't put it past them. Sorry, now I'm just having Kingdom Hearts flashbacks. He'll not get me other hand! He'll not get me other hand! That's what Captain Hook says every time you kick him off the boat. Say what you will about that man. He's got mad ups. Mad hops. Alright, we have a few more, though.
We have a few more. So, this next one comes from Dave, but like in binary. I'm glad you did not fill this with fucking zeros and ones. If you did, I would have just banned you eternally.
I'm gonna be honest, this version's way more funny.
Yes.
Especially with the addition of the like. I didn't even catch that it was like when this first got posted. It's very funny.
But they say, how did the master use command seals on Live in Kentucky? Wasn't it weird that he didn't use his own seals to power up his attacks? Unless I'm forgetting something.
Alright, so this is a two-part question. I think the second part, why doesn't Kentucky use his own seals? It's very easy to answer. Kentucky is dumb.
Yes.
He doesn't know shit about Magecraft. He barely understood the rules of the Grail War, and kept insisting that you were his servant in a mechanical sense, which was not true. Thematically, yes, but, you know, it's still not actually with, like, the contracts and the stuff and the rules. Also, we are not a heroic spirit, so there's that part. So, I don't know if that he or anybody in the actual Imperial Grail War understood how command spells work and could use them. Because we didn't see, like, Tsuna use any. I don't think Raiko used any.
Oh, well, to be fair, to be the utmost fair, I don't think the person, like, all of them were casters. Casters are very intelligent. They probably could have explained how command seals work, but based on the personalities of everyone involved, I think none of them would have fucking used it. Tsuna wouldn't use a fucking crutch like a command seal to get something done. He'd just be like, no, I'm just gonna cut it in half with my fucking sword. Like he does most of the time. And Raiko and Murasaki were just like, no, we're not going to put our fucking servants in the battle in the first place, so why the fuck would we use command seals?
Yeah. And I think the only times they would have used a command seal as, like, a healing, basically, they were both, it was not the right time. When we actually, like, defeated Babbage, that was, you know, his setup. He forced us into that conflict, and when Rhyme was hurt, Raiko was 200% mad. I could see, as Act brought up in chat, Tsuna might use his seals to, like, displace Medea. But the thing is, Medea, and same with Lily, really fucking good caster. So it's not like she needs advice in how to be better at spellcasting and when to be, like, stealthy and fly away. And quite frankly, a lot of the casters we see, the only other thing you would do is, like, you know, use a Noble Phantasm with an order like Live or Fire Your Noble Phantasm kind of a thing. Most of them don't have the kind of offensive Noble Phantasms that would benefit from that. I think the only one would be Paracelsus, and same with the others. There's no way Shuten would use a command seal. That's no fun. So yeah, for that second half of that question, I just don't think that anybody in the story wanted to use command spells or understood how they worked. Now, if you want to ask how did we use command spells on Kentucky, it has been clarified several times throughout the Fate franchise that the command seals, the command spells, while they do have specific purposes, they are just technically reservoirs of magical energy. You see this in FGO all the time, but including when we use them as the ammo for the Black Barrel, right?
Right.
We're not using the command spell to order MASH to fire the gun, per se. We are using the magical power stored in the command spell to charge the Black Barrel. we've used them as like a magical battery several times, and that's basically just what we're doing with them with Kentoki is when he needs an extra bit of magical juice, we basically spend the command seal to get that magical energy and turn it into a spell. Sieg uses his dead count command spells to basically give him enough magical energy to turn into Siegfried for a little bit. Yeah, the Solid movie shows this off as well. It's just an extra bit of juice you can get. And, command spells are pretty flexible. We know that they can be stored, they can be moved, for instance. That's the thing that comes up in Apocrypha. In order to get Mordred to work with the Black Faction, she makes Jean give back Shishigo a command spell, which she can do because she's the ruler. Shit like that. So, it's a little weird if you've mostly been following, like, Fate Stay Night and stuff, but the command spells are not just limited to those uses. Like, I don't know necessarily what we're supposed to be doing when we spend all 3 to reset a battle, right? Other than that, that's just a thing that usually is something you can do. Like, that's what Extella does as well, is you can spend a seal to come back from death. But yeah, no, we're just, when we buff Kentoki, we're just using a spell to give ourselves a big boost of magical energy we can turn into a buff spell, because that's the thing we can do. We're good at that.
Technically, we are a spellcaster. Technically.
And we're armed with, versatile Mystic Codes, which in Heian Kyo we were not afraid to use. There was a lot of healing Mystic Code go.
I think it was the interesting situation of Heian Kyo. We didn't really have, like, a full-on support team. It's, like, one of the few times where we did, like, a major story evasion almost fucking solo. Like,
yeah.
All of our support, like, most of our support staff was actually just, regular-ass fucking people. I say regular-ass people, but, in the sense of, not servants.
Yes. They were mortal humans. They were pretty swole because it was still the Age of Myths, but we recruited everybody from living humans in the timeline. There were no, that's a good way to put it, they were regular heroes, they were living heroes. We did not get any counterforce servants or anything like that, and Chaldea was able to do exactly one info dump on us, and that's all we needed to get going. And we recruited a couple of Onis, had some fun. So yeah.
Give me 1 second. Ow! I'm fighting a monkey with a spear.
He's got a spear now. Is it worse than the scythe?
No. This is the regular one. The regular monkey has a spear. The monkey with the scythe was new and shook me to my core. I know how to deal with a monkey with a spear.
That with? Didn't really know. I'll drink my water.
Everyone hydrate. This monkey will be dead in a little bit.
I mean, we can use this to fact about the reason why Lucky brought up Nioh and Nioh 2. Other than just you've been playing them, was as you've been playing them, you've caught on to the idea that they really are just the grand tour of all the big boy Japanese myths and history, except maybe some of the like really early like Nihon Shoki stuff.
Mm-hmm. Like Nioh and Nioh 2. The main story basically takes place through the Sengoku, the major play of the Sengoku era. Because the Sengoku era actually starts with, like, before Nobunaga's time, but Nobunaga is what brought it to an end through the 3 great unifiers of Nobunaga, Hideyoshi, and Tokugawa. And you basically go through that. Like, the game, like, Nioh 2 starts, like, a few years before Okehazama. And basically the last DLC of the first game ends at the summer siege of Osaka, where Hideyori and Yodogiri died. Which was basically... I don't believe that Tokugawa was completely unopposed at that time, but he basically took care of like the last major resistance to his rule.
Yeah, I don't think he was unopposed per se. It's just I think the
Hojo clan was still running around at that point.
I don't know if there were any other legitimate heirs to the position of shogunate. Okay, there was nobody else who could claim authority. But yeah, so there's a lot of events and a lot of names, both mythological and historical, that are weeb-ass fans liking this, weird Japanese game that's got a lot of love for Japanese history and folklore.
I went to the Battle of Okehazama. I was at Hanoji, hacking. One of the battles I did is when I built it is actually fought Osakabe Hime. She's not actually a person. She's a giant. She's the actual castle. She's fucking Hideyoshi's castle. It's a little nuts, but it's awesome. But like I said, just looking at all like the story and the yokai and stuff, like You're actually complaining about this with Elden Ring. How you would love to have like an enemy viewer and whatnot.
Yes.
Like, this is one of the things I love about Nioh and Nioh 2 is, no, they just have a character profile and a yokai profile where they just give you info dumps on the characters and, you know, what they're known for. Same with, like, the yokai and whatnot.
Elden Ring doesn't even have, like, tooltip loading screens anymore. It's just static images. So it's, yeah, no, I mean, there's some enemies I wouldn't want to see up close, but yeah, I would kill for an in-game model viewer and catalog to just look up the shit I've killed because I'm like, who the fuck is this guy? So yeah, no, I believe in Discord streams anyway. I don't know if it was on that episode of What's Up, but you've shown the model viewer before, and yeah, it's good. It's right there. You can look at stuff.
Oh, because I remember I specifically pulled it up for the Kasha because
Right.
The Kasha, which usually is just a flaming chariot, we're just so like, why the fuck is it a cat girl? And then we pull it up, and it's like, oh no, they're gonna explain it right fucking here, why it's a fucking, here. And it's sick, and then you look at the model, and you see that her whip, it's actually a fucking human skeleton from the foot to the skull. Like, I'm looking at it right now, it's, you know, foot, tibia, femur, hip, spine, skull, that's her flaming whip, and, you know, you look at her wheels, there's just people plastered to it. I'm like, there's a lot of work here, and I'm just like, whoa.
Yeah, and it's the kind of thing that when you're playing a Team Ninja high-paced fast action game where you get murdered a lot, you don't have time to notice. But they put in a viewer so you can actually see all the fucking work their modeling team did.
No, so I thought it was fucking smack as fuck.
Yeah.
But no, like, if you like Japanese history and, like, yokai and all that crazy stuff, like, that's why I really fucking love this game. I'm like, yes!
And, of course, everybody should know how much of a big Okami stan I am. I used 2 clips of Okami music for the one that came out. I used the actual beginning sting, and then, you know, I put 7 Spirited Lives, the fanfare that plays at the end of the Orochi battle, at the end of the show. And neither of them got attacked by Capcom, so we're great.
Like, I did the Shuten Doji fight in this game. It was fucking rad, y'all.
How many different colors was Shuten Doji?
He was just big red energy.
Yeah, according to some accounts, it's supposed to be like a red face, but like yellow and blue arms and black and white legs.
Well, actually, let me pull up.
Just a fucking all the colors.
No, I really like his design in Nioh 2, though.
Is he 50 feet tall?
He's not 50 feet tall, but he's like 10 feet tall.
He's pretty big.
And he's drunk. He does this battle drunk. And it's great.
Of course he does. It's his whole thing. He likes
soccer.
That's possibly why they connected him to Mount Ibuki and Yamata no Orochi, because that guy also liked to drink.
Mm-hmm. But actually, let me pull up his appearance here.
I'm also wondering how many people who did watch The Wanted, because that video did not do as good as Doman. You people, you individuals out there, I see how it is. I see how it be.
Nah, he's just gray with like red swirls all up and down his arm. But he got fucking kabuki hair. It's just huge. I'm like, yeah.
All right, Architect, watch it because you got a joke from there. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. But you guys also give me a lot of money every month on Patreon, so I assumed you would watch. Rip you. Well, you should watch it because there's jokes in there. I was just wondering how many people caught the fact that I used the phrase chaos conf and understood what the fuck it was.
But also, fun fact, I think I mentioned it off mic, but in Nioh 2, they put Raiko as a woman as well. They use the story that she actually had a brother who was involved in the politics, and she just went around slaying demons. I thought that
body doubles are popular.
Yeah, Takeda Shinden had a fuck ton apparently. But that's enough about that. We can keep going. That was
we got 2 more.
We have 2 more? Did I miss one?
Yes.
Oh, I did. Okay, my bad.
It's very easy when there's only 6 of them.
Yeah. Well, let me jump back up to the top here, but this next one comes from King of Apple, who now has a saber with piston bolt / defense, but not the one he was after. Question: what buff do you like to see? What buff does least like to see on boss / enemy? Jesus.
Not grammatically correct. There should definitely be an article in there somewhere. That said, I mean, honestly, special defense. That usually means there's something fucky about this fight. Like, straight up debuff immunity is sometimes problematic, but usually you can outdamage them. It's when the game is like, this unit has some amount of special damage resistance that I'm just like, okay, is this just to lower my damage caps, or is there going to be like a weird thing here? Like, for instance, with the Tota and Suzuka fight, where they get their special defense down after they fired their MP. Yeah, it's true. Pierce is definitely that's one that was just hard to work with, just because that was like, well, now I'm getting damaged, probably gonna die. Not a lot you can do about it.
Guess I'll just die.
Guess I'll die. Chat is having some good ones. Status effects on attacks, do effect on attack can be pretty rough.
Yeah, I'm glad you all guys have like thoughts on this, because I really don't. If I'm gonna be real, there's a lot of things I hate, but like. Everything has a solution to it.
And there's just to Socratic this. There's nothing that when you see that little icon you're just like, oh. Is it more just like, okay, so he does that?
Yeah, pretty much.
That's
like, I never get frustrated when I immediately see it. I always get frustrated when I'm like trying to do a thing and I just get cock blocked in some way or form.
Yeah.
Like, I will say, like, with the Ibuki fight, seeing, like, those, like, 6 different, like, was it 6 or was it 5? 5.
Or 4.
Seeing the 5 different, invos, I was just like, what?
Quickly, I think it's actually 4, but it quickly becomes not 4, so, yeah, there's a lot. But that's, honestly, though, I can kind of agree, because, like, at first you're just like, okay, it's when she does it again, and you're like, now you have 8 invul stacks? Okay. It's kind of, it grows.
I will say this. My most hated buff is huge AP bars. I think that's the thing that always gives me the gut check of like, God fucking damn it.
Yeah, when you just start up a fight and the guy has 600,000, you're just like, okay. Nah, you're probably right. That's probably the part that is the most tiring. When you just open it up and you're just like, this guy has how much HP? It's kind of the same thing somebody brought up earlier, like big full HP guts. That's always the kind of thing that's just kind of depressing to see. You finally beat the guy, and then his guts pops, and he gets like all of his HP back, and you're just like, all right, I guess I'll do it again.
Like, oh shit, here we go.
Shit, here we go again. Yeah. I mean, I'm not really gut checky about critical buffs. I probably should be more concerned, but mostly I just go, oh, well, I died to a crit. People at home, let us know. What buff icon do you least like to see on a boss?
All right, well, with that, let me beat this samurai real quick.
Chat's very jazzed about this question, at least.
Well, people have thoughts and opinions, and we're always glad to see them.
Well, and not everybody plays games the same way. Different players who play FGO for different reasons or different parts. That you'll have different checks when you fire up the game and you see that guy and you're like, duh. Like somebody said earlier, Pierce Invul before Castoria. Now if you see Pierce Invul, if you have a Castoria, you can be like, yeah, let's go. I know what to do, kind of a thing. So that's going to be different for different people. Crit defense and crit resistance are funny. Seeing enemies with damage cut can sometimes be kind of frustrating, because I don't think you can check in-game how much damage cut they have. So it can be hard to guesstimate like how much you're getting nerfed.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I think a lot of that is that it's usually what the kind of thing that generates disappointment on a broad level is people will either be disappointed or disheartened when they see big fucking HP bars and stuff, and they're just like, well, this is going to be a while, or you see it like go up or whatever. And with break bars, there can certainly be some gut checks where you're like, this is perfectly fine. Psh, oh, well, or it's going to be some kind of damage mitigation that means when you drop that hit on somebody, you go, where's my big damage? I was promised a big damage.
Okay, if we're gonna continue on this, I have to say probably my second then is probably heal over time. Especially when it's a super fancy heal over time and they start healing like 50k a turn, and you're just like, okay.
Yeah, big heals.
That's like, because then at that point you have to outdo the pace of their healing or somehow remove it. I think that actually does give me that gives me a bit of a gut check.
Yeah, those damage checks is whatever that means to you, chat. Several people are saying NP every turn. Honestly, that one doesn't spook me most of the time. I have long been a Jean stan, and I also have a Castoria, so I'm just like, all right, we'll see who dies first, buddy. Give them 4,000 kinds of NP seal and curse. But like I said, everybody will react differently. Check the mission clock. Oh, we faffed for over an hour.
That is good.
1 hour and 8 minutes. Spooky.
Okay.
Alright. Let me make sure I'm talking into my microphone. Getting you the good sound waves. You like the good sound waves?
Do you like the waves? So, excuse me. So let's move on to our last one here. This last one came from Procrastinator on the path once again. And they say, sending good vibes. Whoa, 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 whoa. Thank you very much. I appreciate good vibes. They make me happy.
The vibes, they are good.
Do you like the vibes? Me too.
That is it for Mailbag this week.
Mm-hmm.
Each twas only 6. Only half a dozen. But the show is not over yet. We do get a couple of things to get out of the way. Some catch-up stuff from last time, because last week's show was pretty long, and it took me a while to make. This one will not have that problem, but that's okay. Just so long as you click on Big Oni Lady.
Big Oni.
Click on Big Snack. You know you want to.
Dragon Oni Snack.
No, you've already clicked on it if you're here, so. Aha, got you. Fooled you! Anyway, we'll start with So You Didn't Get That 5-star, Bowl Cut Edition. Because, yes, we technically should have done this last time, but I didn't write it because there's a lot to talk about. It was a big show. But yes, we did have a new 4-star who came out. It is Watanabe no Tsuna, and he's going to be permanent, so let's talk about him. Though he is not permanent yet because his original summon banner hasn't stopped. I think they had to put a note in the new interlude campaign banners that he's not in there yet. But yes, he will be permanent, and he's a pretty decent one at that. So he's an SR Saber. He's got high attack, low HP for his block for 4-star Sabers. It's a decent way to be. He has a pretty standard for a Saber, quick arts Buster deck. He has normal hit counts and pretty good NP gain. It's like 0.6. He's got 3 hits art cards and a 4-hit quick card. His Buster cards are only 2 hits, but that doesn't really matter. And his NP is very simple. It is an ST Buster NP. It deals bonus damage to Oni-type enemies. It gives him an anti-demonic attack buff for 1 turn based on overcharge. It starts at 20%. He will cut an Oni. That is what he does. It's very simple. Big damage, no whammies. So his kit, the rest of his kit is pretty interesting. His first skill gives you extra star weight on Buster cards for 3 turns, so stars go to Buster cards. Gives him 30 to 50% critical damage for 3 hits, 3 turns. Pretty effective thing it's going for there. His second skill is a 1-turn evade. It ups your star weight on arts for 1 turn, and it gives him 30 to 50% NP gain up for 1 turn. Third skill is a pretty standard 20 to 40% Buster up on self for 3 turns, 3 turns of sure hit, and gives enemies 10 to 20% crit down chance for 3 turns. Pretty put together. Passives are just magic resistance A and writing B. Also, I would like to point this out because it is notable. Obviously, it's for some lore reasons, but it also makes him a better unit. Speaking of append skills, his class skill is Anti-Berserker, so that can be fun. You will probably find quite a few Onis and demonic enemies in Berserker anyway, so get that extra damage. So, I will say, just reading it, the timing on Tsuna's skills are a bit awkward. It's 3 turns of star weight up on Buster versus 1 turn of arts. But they are the same value, so if you've leveled the skills to the same level, it should even out. But in general, he kills bosses who are Onis and or demonics dead. He has a really big Buster crit turn, maybe 3. He can punch through evades, which is very fun. He has a couple of different defensive options. Very solid kit for a new permanent. The main thing you're going to be aware of is there's a little bit of tactics to be said in, like, when you do his evade and stuff, because it's not a battery, it's just your NP gain stat goes up. So your arts crits will be pretty good that turn. It's just setting them up to proc and also hitting your evades and stuff. Though I do believe NP gain up in general does apply to defensive NP gain, so that's also fun. But all in all, very, very solid, very straightforward. He's also one of quite a few servants now, but it was still pretty early for them to be doing this a couple of years ago. He has, completely differently facing sprites. His one ascension is him from the side, the other one is head on, and then that becomes his higher ascension one with, Big Sword.
Big Sword.
He gets to be the fiery one. So yeah, pretty cool. And I think everything else you need to know about Tsuna you can get from the story arc. He's a guy. He's kind of a nerd. He's got a sword. It's very sharp.
Well, like I said, they do talk about his most famous legend about Ibaraki
on the bridge, yeah. Which means, then, to round out this show, as I said last show, because again, the episode was long, it do be time for Fanservant Friday. So, last month, was November, and y'all did vote, and it resulted in a tie, and Lucky picked the infamous Guy Fawkes, a.k.a. John Johnson. And no, if you don't know that, the Gunpowder Plot guys were not the smartest guys in the world. They rented an apartment next to the Parliament building they were trying to bomb, so they would smuggle in the gunpowder and the coal dust and stuff into the cellar under the name John Johnson, and they put Guy Fawkes in it to actually do that bit. But yeah, We'll be doing that. And if you guys somehow don't know this story, because obviously the 5th of November, there's a famous British holiday about this, where they celebrate that time he tried to blow up Parliament, often with fireworks and, burning effigies. What's up, Lucky?
Why do they celebrate it,
actually? I assume it's just, Bonfire Night, Guy Fawkes Night. It's just being like, hey, you didn't fucking blow us up. Let's see. I'm checking the history now. Back in the day, it was popular because it basically turned into a Protestant holiday. Because in case you guys didn't know, Guy Fawkes was Catholic. The gunpowder plot was a pro-Catholic plot. The plan was to destroy the Protestant Parliament and get a new pro-Catholic government back in power. They literally wrote to the Pope to ask for his permission to do this. I don't think he ever gave it, per se, but that's kind of the thing they were in there. Let's see. Like, early significance, there's some history stuff. I think it just started because people were so anti-Catholic back in the day, so fucking mad, which absolutely, totally understates the Protestant position in England. And then it just became part of the culture, so they never got rid of it. We actually used to celebrate the day in America until the Revolution. No guesses as to why we decided to stop. But yeah, so, and again, if you don't know, that's basically the general gist of the gunpowder treason plot. Guy Fawkes and several of his conspirators, 12 of them, were basically planning to assassinate, King James VI and the members of Parliament in order to replace the government and cause a revolution. It did not work. They were caught. And as you might expect, they were caught out kind of by their own incompetence. Obviously, like we said earlier, the joke about, John Johnson, esteemed doer of job and place. They were not necessarily subtle. Their aliases were very obvious. They had guys, standing guard in the apartment covered in coal dust the whole time, etc. And in general, they did that thing that people meme about on the internet, where they told several of their Catholic-friendly Parliament members, hey, don't go to Parliament tomorrow. And naturally, the members of the Houses of Parliament were just like, hey, we've got these weird letters about how some guys told us not to show up to Parliament because they're going to blow it up. Maybe we should do something about that. That's why you always got to remember, if you see something, say something, everybody. Oops, sorry. Flung my microphone with my bottle. But yes, Guy Fawkes was an English Catholic. He fought in wars in Catholic Spain, and I don't even, if I remember my history right, I don't even know if he was really the central guy of the plot, but he was the one who was caught standing guard at the apartment and attempted to light the fire. Mimetically, the reason why you also might know him, especially in America, is because, like I said, in Britain, they will sometimes, burn effigies of Guy Fawkes, which include a very cartoonish mask, probably drawn from appearances like this one. This is a novel cover from the 1800s, but this is how guys dressed. Here's another dramatic rendition. Let's see, when's this painting from? Yeah, it's from 1823. So, as you can see, pop culturally, this stayed live because the actual plot was in the early 1600s. But the Guy Fawkes mask is a thing, and it's very popular and well-known in some circles because obviously it was used as the mask used by V in V for Vendetta, which both in the movie version and I believe in the original comic, he reenacts the gunpowder plot and blows up Parliament, because in V for Vendetta, England is, a National Socialist nightmare that is incredibly fashy and probably deserves to be blown up a little. Somebody read 1984. But that image was kind of adopted by other people, including the Internet Anonymous phenomenon, the hacktivist group. They very frequently use Guy Fawkes masks, etc., as part of their ideology and iconography, And if you also don't know about that one, I believe the primary reason why the Guy Fawkes mask started, besides just the fact people really liked V for Vendetta because it's cool, is also because a lot of those early anonymous hacktivist protests were based at the Church of Scientology, who has a well-documented policy of attempting to identify and blackmail the fuck out of anybody who protests them. So, anonymity was important. So if you've ever seen walls of guys in Guy Fawkes masks, this is why. And this part is important because, obviously, with kind of, retroactive recognition, I baked some of this into the servant profile. So let's talk about it. Guy Fawkes is classed as an assassin because if Jinkei can be an assassin for failing to assassinate a guy, so can Guy Fawkes.
That makes sense to me.
Yeah. As typical for assassins, not super great stats. Strength C, Endurance C+, Agility C-. These are kind of higher because he was a soldier. Did fight in some wars. Magic or mana power, D. Luck D. Dugakat, not very lucky. NP rank C. Presence concealment, D+. Again, these guys are not really great at going about invisibly. They tried to act very normal. I suspect his actual attacks would probably be with, swords or old pistols. And maybe throwing barrels of gunpowder at people Donkey Kong style. I'll get into that. For personal skills, funnily enough, did also take some notes from Jinkei's profile and other similar assassins for this. Espionage C+. Espionage is not that's the skill that some assassins have. It's not really presence concealment, but your ability to not be noticed as a threat. I gave, Guy Fawkes a middling level of this because he was described as mild-mannered, intelligent, and cheerful. That's why they kind of picked him as the cover-up guy, because he felt that they felt that he would not be thought as suspicious. Planning C-. The art of planning an assassination. This is a skill that JK also has. Tactical planning and thinking, but constrained to assassination. I did C- because there were some weak points in the conspiracy, as my plans noticed. Protection of the faith. The skill for those sacrificed to the faith, form of divine protection, formed by pure belief, absoluteness of body and mind. You see this on a couple of saints, and I believe that as well, First Hassan has a shitload of this. This is only a B, but he was a Catholic soldier for many years, and though he was caught first, he did not give up any of his compatriots until after several days of torture. Oof. So he held out for a little bit. He seems like a little bit of a tough guy. This is why we did Endurance C+. And then Sabotage, also C+. Ability is traps and subversive tactics, reducing enemies before the battle is over. This would probably be more like Fuma's version than Robin Hood's version, probably not applying a poison, but be like a crit down chance or something. Guy Fawkes was a soldier. He knew how to handle explosives, and was placed in terms of, actually putting them in and setting them off in the apartment they bought as a cover. So, based on the other way rankings work, using the skill would reduce enemy force by about 30%. Not sure how that exactly translates to skills there, but I'm kind of feeling, with espionage and planning and stuff are usually based around, critical strength and, star generation and star absorption. Probably a pretty basic, critical hitman. Though there's a couple here, because let's get into the Noble Phantasm. That's the fun part, isn't it, chat? Because he has two. I'll do even though it's alphabetically lower, I'll do the first one first. Gunpowder plot. With the subtitle, I see no reason gunpowder treason should ever be forgot. It's a children's rhyme. This is a C-rank anti-fortress Noble Phantasm. This is the quote-unquote original Noble Phantasm of Guy Fawkes. This is the failed plot to kill the English king by destroying Parliament. Using 40 barrels of gunpowder, the barrels were placed in the undercroft, hidden using coal and firewood. Fawkes was supposed to be there with a light to set a slow-burning match when it was time. While the plot failed, the question of what if Guy Fawkes succeeded remains. Therefore, he can actually use the Noble Phantasm to blow stuff up. And also, yes, when I was doing my research for this profile ages and ages ago, can't remember when I wrote this. I think it was sometime this year, but it was earlier. But basically, it has, ever since the 1600s, it has been a popular, alternate history timeline thing for a lot of writers to be like, yo, what happened if he would have done it? And obviously, like I said, V for Vendetta kind of starts off that way with kind of the recreation, etc. So there's a lot of vibes for it actually firing off in classic, crystallization of mystery level. By showing its true name, Guy Fawkes lights a match. It leads to the barrels of gunpowder that he has already planted in this location, detonating moments later. This explosion is powerful enough to shatter concrete barriers and hit any target within a 100-meter radius. Because, yes, of course, history nerds have tested how powerful the 40 barrels would have been. So, yes, it's strong enough to shatter concrete barriers. 100-meter radius. Guy Fawkes himself escapes in the confusion once the match is lit. However, because the plot failed, it's still possible to escape moments before the detonation occurs. Because of the legend behind it, the explosion is inherently more dangerous to kings and royals. So, probably in FGO terms, you're looking at a, Buster AoE. It probably, hits everybody. Maybe it's defense ignoring. It would do bonus damage to king servants, which would probably be good for an assassin, because there's probably a decent number of writers out there. And, 40 hits is probably too many. It would probably be like 4. If they could actually pull off 40, that would be funny. But I think that's probably too much juice on your server side.
I think it would be 40 explosions, but, only like 4 actual numbers.
Yeah. And I'm just imagining, the dramatic scene, like, he probably starts the rhyme, and then there's just the striking of a match. Whoosh, lights the fuse. Kaboom. I believe in the V for Vendetta movie, this was set to Ode to Joy.
Yes, it was. I remember that.
So, pretty funny. It would probably give anybody who lived some kind of status down effect as well, like maybe attack down or crit chance down. Yeah, where you just, oops, please.
Actually, you know what I think would be an interesting effect?
Yeah.
If they couldn't actually apply any defensive buffs.
Ooh, defensive buff block, yeah.
Yeah. I think that would probably be neat.
Yeah, that'd be a cool way to do it. We've played around with stuff like that, like obviously you can remove defensive buffs, so you could make it so the game you can't apply them, because the game knows what those are.
Yep. But
also I mentioned I gave him another Noble Phantasm.
Oh.
This is the one that's the Weird Fate one. Anonymous, the Hollow Men, EX, Anti-Army. So normally, this Noble Phantasm would allow Guy Fawkes to summon the other 12 conspirators as phantom spirits. I have their names written down. I guess I can read them because I did write them. You've got Robert Catesby, John and Christopher Wright, Robert and Thomas Winter, spelled with an O in there, Wintour, Thomas Percy, Robert Keyes, Thomas Bates, John Grant, Ambrose Rookwood, who wins the most British name in here, or would, if it wasn't for the next one, Sir Everard Digby, and then also Francis Tresham. Guy Fawkes is the most famous. He was the one who was caught. He gave them up. He is the main body, but he could summon the others to basically divide himself and get extra work done, almost 100 Persona style. But as I said, in modern times, increasingly, the Guy Fawkes mask and the concept of Guy Fawkes has gotten very weird. It's changed human perception, so it has become a new Noble Phantasm. First and foremost, this Noble Phantasm is always active because Guy Fawkes has a mask on his face. This mask conceals his true name, class, and parameters until he uses his real Noble Phantasm. So pretty standard stuff, similar to Mordred's secretive pedigree. It allows him to summon up to 12 masked duplicates of himself as low-level spirits to aid in fighting, planning, scouting. However, it's really more of a hive mind Noble Phantasm. Anybody who chooses to don the mask temporarily becomes an incarnation of Guy Fawkes. Any information they observe is passed back to his spirit origin, their abilities are enhanced, etc. For living humans, this wouldn't make you as strong as a servant, but it would still make you pretty tough. And hypothetically, Guy Fawkes can spread his effect to an unlimited number of allies, creating an army of agents, destroying the mask or killing the person who uses from the Guy Fawkes network. So, yeah, basically, he becomes an information network Noble Phantasm. That's
really interesting.
A level of guys going out. Yeah, I had a lot of fun designing this one, and it fits the ethos because that is kind of what Guy Fawkes has become. Like, a lot of guys have just taken on the iconography of the mask as a symbol of not of pro-Catholic terrorism, but as anarchy, again, the V for Vendetta thing. And this was another thing in V, was at the end of the movie version, and I believe also in the comics. Again, sorry, I haven't read it. Alan Moore's, it's a delicate taste. I believe it involves loads and loads of people putting on the Guy Fawkes masks. So, yeah. This would probably be better represented as a skill. I'm not exactly sure how that would work. Maybe, neutralize all allies' class advantage. Or if that's too broken, maybe just forcibly change all your allies' class advantage to be assassin.
I think it would just be an AoE neutralized class disadvantage. I think it would be interesting.
Yeah. Probably like a party-wide crit up as well. Because, you're getting information back. And Axe already said another cool thing that could be used this way. If you used him as an opponent in a story, you could just have the mooks be rando Guy Fawkes guys.
Yeah.
Because they're not supposed to be that strong. This isn't like similar to 100 Personas, but operating kind of differently. It's not like you could just, you don't really get to body guys with a lot of dudes. It's more just like the enemy is information. As said in V for Vendetta, I am an idea, and ideas are bulletproof. Spoiler, V was not actually bulletproof. He just got to sound like a badass.
What a lot of V's.
Yes. And he got to alliterate a lot of V's. I can't do the whole speech, but it's pretty long. It's a lot of V's. So, yeah, appearance-wise, I am imagining that it would be like some of the images I have posted to people and the ones you get. Like, it's going to be a dude in a very exaggerated Guy Fawkes mask with the, old-timey, mustache and goatee, the hat, big cloak. Probably not intrinsically, but if you added a guy who was good at hacking to the team, that would work for the anonymous reference. The other thing I've got noted in his profile for armaments is a flintlock, so yeah, I assume he would have a rifle or pistol flintlock. He was a soldier. Do some attacking with a sword, perhaps, or a knife, or a kniff. Probably get fancier. That could be like an Ascension thing, is maybe he goes from like the classic look to like, a more modern Matrix-ass black trench coat,
I can see that.
Lots of anarchist hacker types love black trench coats. Stuff like that. Make sure his hat stays big, gets more feathers. So yeah, this was an interesting one to work from, and I love when you can take a Fate idea, and I love when actual servants take a Fate idea and just go, man, that's weird. Well, I do want to note, in the profile I wrote it, though, again, you can change this for tension. Fate does this all the time. I said it has to be willingly. You have to willingly take on the mask, but people could probably experiment with forcing it on you. Get some weird dream shit. Dantes appears. Dantes can break time. He can escape from prisons, like mines and labels. But yes, shout out to everybody for most of the way voting for Guy Fawkes, and then obviously Lucky for breaking that tie, so we get to talk about it. Sick. It's a fun one. And since it is a new month, it is the 2nd of December, I have posted the new Fanservant Friday poll. Already got quite a few votes on this. You guys are jazzed up this month. And if you want to be jazzed up, join our Patreon at the 5 and up level. So this one, as you might expect from an end of the year, I was aiming for a winter theme, and then it ended up just being Oops All Writers. So we've got a handful of people here. It's Dead Moroz, Grandfather Winter as a writer, Frau Gauden, from a Germanic version of the Wild Hunt type myth, also related to the Days of Christmas. Maria Otkarbritska, a Soviet war hero. That one is also a tank girl, so...
Yeah, I was about to say, it's like, that was the one with the tank.
Yes. And I added another fun one, Vanagander, writer, a.k.a. Fenrir.
Oh.
He is currently winning with 42%. I would expect, with some Dad of Boy synergy, we're going to get going. I will say, this one's a little weird. It is technically a fan servant, because I wrote a lot of my own lore here, but the actual basis for a lot of the skills Vanagander has comes from I think it was a web fiction supplement for Last Encore. Because, in case you have forgotten that, because we haven't mentioned it in a year or two, one of the anime-only girl in Lost Encore, her servant was fucking Fenrir. It was a drama CD, right, yeah. And just, it didn't fucking come up. But also, because Surtur ate Fenrir, we do actually know some other Fenrir-type skills that showed up thanks to Lost Bolt 2. So, this profile is my own original research on Fenrir and lore, as, Vanagander, Eater of the Dead, combined with what Fate has given us for what kind of skills he would have, with some editing to make sure everything seems fair for a summonable servant. It should surprise nobody. He is, like I said, in the lead with 42, but there's quite a few votes in here. We got an extra couple of votes while I was talking, so we'll see how it shakes out there. Yeah, this one, the research was also me just looking up shit on the Type Moon wiki and reverse stitching. And also some translations of materials. Surtur had a profile in one of the Matt's books that obviously talked about what skills he had that were Fenrir's, Mm-hmm. So that's the one that's winning, but he might not win. We'll see. We are starting Dad of Boy Ragnarok on Monday, so, we will at least be able to see some fun lore. Wamble Cambos. Get in there.
I do like
good?
I do like what they did. I do like what they did with Fenrir in that game. Right. It makes a lot of
fun.
Yes.
Technical Dad of Boy 1 spoilers, but it's been several years, so you should be caught up. I was always very curious how they're going to handle that stuff, and I'll be eager to see it, because the original myth lore doesn't work, because our Loki is boy. So I'm interested to see how that actually plays out.
They do take some creative liberties. One spoiler here, it's not a big one, but I finally learned that giant bird you see in Helheim, that's Helsvalger. The eagle that's supposed to be at the top of Yggdrasil.
Yeah, it's interesting. I didn't even know if I would call that a spoiler, because I don't, at least for the first game, because that doesn't even really come up.
Yeah, no, it doesn't come up, but I saw that, I was like, So the game does take some creative liberties, but another one is actually pretty neat, but that one is a spoiler, so not... Yeah. Helsvalger? I don't actually know how to pronounce it. I just know it has HVSE. I'm just like...
Alright, I'm going to click how to pronounce.
Hraesvelgr.
Hraesvelgr. It's got one of those AE sounds that's supposed to go together.
Feels scalar.
Can that be a servant? Can a bird be a servant? I don't know.
I mean, if fucking Fenrir can be a servant, I'm pretty sure Hellsvarger can be it. But that also means that, like, Nidhogg and Raditsker can be as well. Also, I guess the stag that chew on the fucking leaves, I guess.
Well, those were also all Pokemon, so.
True. Yeah, because you got Hellsvarger at the top, Nidhogg at the bottom, Raditsker goes up and down.
You've also got Vidalfolnir, which is the smaller bird that sits on Hellsvarger's head. These birds on top of birds. Well, yes, Fenrir's supposed to be really smart. He's also just fucking... Anyway, if Vanagondar wins, we'll get into all that. Like I said, I did my research. Yeah. I know my lores. I mean, what gen was the squirrel Pokemon introduced? Because he's used a lot in Scarlet Violet, so... Or they, I should say, because it can be either one. Because there's not actually a legendary squirrel in Pokemon, but...
Could be a legendary squirrel.
It should be red. Oh, it wasn't? Yeah, it was okay. It's a little late. Slight missed out. Fucking squirrel-ass squirrel. Anyway, there's your Fanservant Friday options.
I really need to top up on my mythology.
That's good. I would recommend for anybody who wants a real quick primer with a lot of research, check out Overly Sarcastic Productions, OSP. Obviously, the Norse ones are pretty big, thanks to Marvel, so Red's done a lot of work over the years. Some of which involves her losing her fucking mind, trying to track down Loki, because the Norse did not give us good primary sources. All the shit we have was post-Christianization, thank you. It's the same problem that a lot of Celtic mythology has. The Book of Invasions was clearly written after they were Christianized, so there's a lot of weird stuff in it. Like, these were definitely not gods, they were weird human sorcerers. The biblical flood is true, don't ask questions. But yeah, there's a really good narrow on that. Do not, people at home, take necessarily God of War, either one of the new ones, as your actual factual primer, nor should you trust Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
I mean, I did research one because at Legends, and like I said, they do take some creative differences, but they also do some synergistic effects.
Yeah. God of War is usually pretty good about being researched. I'm just going to tell everybody, it's as you said, it is not a one-for-one. There is some creative drift there. But that's also because they're, telling a fucking story. They're doing a thing.
No, but we're excited to get to that, by the way.
Yeah. We'll be happy. I hope you guys will show up. Though, once again, I will not stop talking about it. Also, go watch Plague Tale. Go watch the Plague Tale videos. Those last two videos, they didn't do good, and that's a shame, because the game is pretty good. Storytelling-wise, anyway, the experience that you guys have to face, it's a pretty compelling. We'll probably get into some more back thoughts on what's up tomorrow. But yeah. Also, I had a chuckle earlier because somebody just posted. There is a Twitter that is just launched for is JoJo Part 7 anime confirmed.
Ports.
Day 1. Not confirmed. Well, we'll follow. But, yeah. Almost made it to 2 hours. Obviously, some of that'll be dead air we cut out. But, we can't... I like to say we can't force the show to be super long. I should say we shouldn't force the show to be super long. We should keep it to the natural length. So we'll probably be wrapping up here.
Before it ends, Chad, is there anything you'd like us to talk about? Patrons.
Patrons. That's a good, decent part of the outro. Are we forgetting anything? We missed some stuff? Arcade.
Lane. That is a word, and I am putting that in my lexicon.
I think some people have been showing off some of the... obviously, we're getting pretty close to the digital worldwide release of Mahoyo. Mm-hmm. It's only a couple of weeks away. I've seen some mock-ups of some of the physical versions that look pretty nice. That's cool. Other new anime news and stuff. We're all just still waiting for that special episode.
We are.
Well, there's only 2 responses to a pun.
No, I think it's not a pun. I think it's actually a pun return, because Axe does have a particular way he likes to explain things.
It's true. Sometimes we have to cut some of the faff out there, but other times it is an explanation. I'm just sitting here stretching, chat. You won't hear any of this dead air. I'm just stretching.
He's just stretching.
We have been sitting for almost 2 hours. Nobody's really typing in the patron chat about anything, so I think that's all good.
I guess that's
Yeah. All right. So, usual business. It's the start of a new month. Obviously, that means it's a great time to support us on Patreon. Like I said, you can vote in the topic poll for Fanservant Friday this month if you support us at the 5 and up level. I have not locked it in, but there's also a fail portrayal poll. Though, obviously, because last time you guys picked DDD, it's going to take us 2 weeks to get through all that. Thanks, guys. That's okay. They just want me to say the super long names. Here, I'll give a chat a preview of what you're going to be in for this Tuesday. I hope you're ready for let's see, what's my favorite name here? Yeah, here's a good one. It's one of the funniest ones. I hope you're ready for DDD, Super Doom King, Purple Armageddon. What? It's just it'd be like that. Even in Japanese, the names are really tryhard.
Okay.
It's maybe what people are about. Yes, don't cause shit in the picture chat.
If y'all gonna cause shit, I'm gonna cause shit, and no one wants lucky to cause shit.
Don't start none, don't be none. But yes, good time to support us on Patreon, get access to topic polls. We record audio for all of this, so the audio version is our, minimum tier. All Patreon tiers get that. It's as little as $1 a month, or roughly $10 a year, an annual approximate. It's the last month of the year, so it's a great way to secure, your whole last year worth of stuff as well. So I'll probably say that in January also. Now that I've seen this reposted, can we make emote names that long?
I don't know, but
I don't think we can, but we can try. You're getting your tablet.
I am of the opinion that if you swear at someone, you better fucking mean it. I don't take insults or foul language lightly, personally.
I mean, in verbal speak, there's definitely something to be said about, you can tonalize thing, like be like, fuck off, man. In the same junction, you would say, come on. But there's certain words that just have a little extra spice. Obviously, that goes the other way. Like in text, calling somebody friend, buddy. While that you can get the sarcasm on that, it's a lot harder. Whereas in English, I wouldn't do that, friend. I'm not your friend, pal. I'm not your buddy, pal. Your pal, buddy. That doesn't work as well without the verbal intonation to the joke. Or the insult. Anyway, support us on Patreon. Get audio, get videos early, get access to polls, listen to the show live, be part of this this honk-mothering circus going on here.
Oh my god.
It's probably, out of all the things in Barotrauma, the honk mother is probably the weirdest thing. Expect me to keep bringing that up. I'm not going to let that one go. There is a fucking clown cult and a clown class, and it's just...
Well, it's not a clown class, it's a clown tree.
True. There's a clown tree. You can embrace the clown.
Embrace the honk mother.
So, you can get the show live as well, and get on-air shoutouts and stuff. And like I said, it's a real fun way to support us. Thanks to your ongoing Patreon and YouTube supports and stuff. You've talked about this, lucky you were able to buy yourself a new art tablet.
Yep, I got it finally.
Oh,
I have a stand too, so...
Nice.
As soon as I stop being a bitch, I'll set that up.
Yeah. You got a new desk, which you are now covering in Tomo merch.
Yep.
So, that's the kind of stuff that, that gets for us. No. Our submarine is full of people who are really good at sprinting right now, Aaron. Because we upgraded. We got the bigger sub. It's bigger.
Listen, I'm not going to join no cult of the Hus, but if I'm just saying, if I have the ability to not need to breathe and survive pressure up to 10,000 meters, I might consider it, okay?
Europa and Eclipse phase is pretty cool. Transhumanism is neat.
Listen, I'm a person who genuinely love the concept of transhumanism.
Gene mods are sick, y'all.
They are. Shit, Maggie, you gotta bake this episode, don't you? So you can't do anything. Fuck.
No, not right away. I mean, let me check the mission timer. Yeah, we're at an hour 50. It's entirely I don't want to say it, because if I, say it and knock on wood, the computer will fucking mock me. This shouldn't take too long to cook. By the way, it's Daily Reset, everybody. In live chat, anyway. That'll probably give somebody a conniption later when they're watching. But I won't commit to it, so we'll see. To make that go faster, let's wrap up. I've showed you on Patreon. Support us. It's cool. There's other things you can do. First of all, I would love if you hit the like button on this episode. Smash that like button, as they say. It's good for the algorithm and lets other people watch and, gets us out there. You can leave your comments. There's several things you ask you to comment about. Leave your comments down there in the comment section below. You can also access our Discord. It's a fun place. Link is in the description or the video page. It's got stuff going on there. There's lots of fun stuff to do. Things you can talk about. And, of course, if you haven't already, please subscribe to our channel to get more videos. Get Let's Talk FGO every week. Get our What's Up live stream podcast every week. Get our other streams, other videos, etc. And even if you're already subscribed, make sure you ring that bell for notifications. You can go ahead and set it to all if you want, so that way you know when we're starting to stream and fun stuff. It's cool. It's good. Once you watch streams, like Playtale streams. Just saying. And, of course, in addition to supporting us on Patreon, you can also support us through channel memberships directly, get access to membership badges and emotes. With Lucky having his tablet, hopefully he can cook us up some new fun emotes to get in there. If we've got some open slots, we probably do.
Lid, but I will definitely start getting a list of stickers I'll make.
Yeah, and I gotta double check if we have free slots. I think we have free slots, but yes. If we don't have free slots, if you join our channel membership, you get us more emote slots so we can get you more cool emotes eventually. So it's another great way to support us. It is out there, along with all the usual stuff you might expect. This is more a thing of artist lucky. We might see some editor lucky. Speaking of Barotrauma, Lucky's talked about recording some of that footage sometime and maybe trying to scrub it down and clip it for small stuff. Do a highlight reel.
Yeah, I think I think I can do a highlight reel pretty easy, even with my basic bitch Vegas.
Yeah, so we can probably throw that together if it happens. But that is all the stuff I have to say. I do now have to go edit this down and see where it's at. And hopefully that doesn't take too long. And you guys can go about your day. If you're watching this on YouTube for public, make sure to tune into What's Up every Saturday. Usually 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific. Had to do math for a second there. Sorry. Live all the time. What will Lucky be playing? I don't fucking know. We'll find out tomorrow together. And that is everything I think I got to say for this week's Let's Talk FGO. We guys will see you next time, and we'll keep asking that question. Where is that Murasaki? Where did it go? What's happening?